Welcome, everybody. We're talking again today with Ted Sevransky, NBA sports bettor out of Las Vegas, professional sports bettor as a whole. Ted, there's a game tonight in the NBA, and when I first saw this, I was wondering what you would think, and I kind of think I have an idea which way you would go. Sacramento Kings at Portland. Now, you know, anybody that's doing anything in sports betting right now has got to notice what's happening with this team, and also DeMarcus Cousins. I made a statement on a video yesterday that I thought at this point, if you were to stop the season, he would be my MVP. And I had some bloggers that were trying to eat my lunch with that and thought I was stupid, this and that. Last night, he absolutely goes off again. I mean, this guy is leaving it on the floor night in and night out. George Karl just absolutely figured out how to get into his head and let that mesh with the other egos on that team. But bottom line, this team has got to be absolutely exhausted. You got a rested Portland team, all right? The line, as I saw it, was Portland minus 5.5. If you will, break this down. What's your thoughts on DeMarcus Cousins first off, and then into the reasons why you may like the side or the total, and what's going to profit you tonight?
That's a lot of questions to answer all at once. Let's see if I can answer the DeMarcus Cousins question first. DeMarcus Cousins is the best center in the NBA right now, period. End of argument, end of statement. There's not even close. He's not the league MVP. Steph Curry's the league MVP. Come on. You know, the Kings haven't won enough games. And when you're talking about MVP awards, you have to look at wins and losses for the team in that. Otherwise, you don't have, it's just a statistical comparison. So I would agree with this statement. DeMarcus Cousins has been as valuable to his team as any player in the NBA has been to their own team this season. But if I'm voting for the MVP award, I'm not even, and I'm, again, a huge DeMarcus Cousins fan and supporter. I would not vote for him over Steph Curry. I wouldn't even think about it.
And I have to interject this real quick because I just need to. Also, what I replied back to that blogger, it's interesting you said what you did, and it's quoted, it's documented. I said, besides Steph Curry, there's nobody else I think right now would deserve it. And it's kind of weird how you came right back with that, so I like that. And didn't mean to cut you off, just throwing that in there, Ted.
Well, Steph Curry's the NBA MVP this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like who should we give it to? It's okay, at the halfway point, it's Steph. And if once again showed us that last night with the remarkable performance against San Antonio. But let's stay on the task at hand right here. Stay focused on Sacramento, Portland. And you talked about the negatives here for the Kings. Again, they're coming off a brutal loss, double overtime loss. They were completely gassed in the second OT. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. I think they made one basket in the second overtime. That was a Willie Cauley-Stein dunk. They were gassed. They left it all on the floor, and there were a couple of quotes after the game saying, "Hey, we left it all on the floor tonight. No complaints. The chips fell where they may." Let's also remember they lost that game on a three-pointer with less than 10 seconds left on the clock. So it's a brutal loss. They left it all on the floor. Now they got to play the second night of back-to-backs off a double overtime loss with travel in between the two games. So obviously it's a bad spot for Sacramento. But when we look at the other side of the equation, Portland's had this game triple circled. They've got it in their sights already. Let's not forget, the playoffs start today. Sacramento's got the 8th seed. Portland has the 9 seed. They'd be on the outside looking in. The quotes from the Blazers, "We want to be where they are. We need to be now where they are, now." The talk about they had to supposedly one of their best practices of the year yesterday. There was a lot of intensity focused on this particular game because, again, they're looking up at the standings in Sacramento. So the NBA is brutal. Nobody takes it easy on anybody else. Doesn't matter your spot, doesn't matter your injuries, doesn't matter any of that stuff. And Portland is coming to play tonight every bit as much as Sacramento's gas. So it's not only a bet against the Kings, there's also a bet on Portland here. Now, we have seen a line move, and a fairly significant line move in favor of the Blazers. This isn't a balls to the wall, get it now if you haven't gotten it, and lay as much as you can. But even after the line move, the only way I can look here is towards Portland minus the points.
And another factor in here also, they won the last 3 versus the Kings, so they know how to play this team, Ted, and I know you're aware of that. Also, they're 6-0, Portland is this year when playing on 2 days rest, so that's a solid stat, and you've said this many times, numbers do not lie. And my hat's off again to everything that Sacramento's doing. Now, Rudy Gay, if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. So there's just so many factors that are leaning me towards Portland. And also, and you mentioned this, that line opened at -2.5, now sitting at -5.5. God knows that might go up another point before tip-off. I mean, it really could. But C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard, Damian Lillard is just such a consistent contributor night in and night out. Obviously, he's the team leader this year. He took that role when LaMarcus Aldridge wasn't able to carry that torch and moved on. So I like it. Anything else you want to add, or do you think this is something maybe worthy of a 2-unit play, not overdoing it, but, with confidence, you know what, this might be worthy of 2 units?
Yeah, I think Lillard is the most underrated player in the NBA right now. And let's not forget, Portland beat Sacramento in Sacramento earlier this year, and they did it without Lillard on the floor. So they were able to beat the Kings without their best player, which bodes well for them tonight. But a 2-unit, absolutely not. No. And this is why. If you bet Portland at -2.5, great. 2 units, 3 units, I don't care how many units you want to put on that. If you bet them at -3, okay. 3.5, maybe. Not at the current number. No, not after the line. If you're going to try to step up your wagers after 2.5 3-point line moves, you will lose. Plain and simple, period. Action bet, no problem. I'm with you. Step up wager, not a chance after a line move of this significance. Even if that line move is fully warranted, it's still a negative ROI situation.
Wow. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, Ted. It's about ROI. And I appreciate your input on that. I'm glad I did ask that question because there's a lot of viewers out there that could learn a lot from that, and there's a method to the madness. Again, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And absolutely, Sacramento's thinking about a marathon. They did. They left it all on the floor. So I like this. Ted, thanks so much for your breakdown. This is, again, wisdom and knowledge to help our viewers and to beat the book and to cash that ticket. So I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Good luck in your plays tonight, and have a great evening, my friend.